Good afternoon. This is not a fun video to make. But anyway, company called Thrunite. I've reviewed one of their handheld lights. I'll drop a link in the description. Asked me to review their weapons mounted light. The gun is clear, but this little thing, they were like, hey, it's our first real weapons light. You want to review it? I said, sure. Unfortunately, can't recommend it. Let's go over why. Alright, so here we are outside. There's a little bit of ambient light from the porch light, but nothing crazy. This is what I'm talking about with this light. Raw output, it seems fine, but as you can see, it doesn't really have a hot spot. It doesn't really throw very far. Looks like maybe 15-20 yards. It's about as far as you're going to get any kind of casting or whatever. So like here, yeah, I can see fine, roughly 7 yards away. But going out further, like my mailbox is 25 yards from where I'm standing, yeah, I can't reasonably identify what's going on there or ascertain what somebody may or may not have in their hands. And that's kind of a failure on a pistol light. Now I've removed the weapons light from the rifle because it really doesn't matter what it's on. It's still not really going to be a good option. Start with the most obvious one. You see this diffuser cover over the light itself? That diffuses the light. Go figure. What that does though is it makes it very hard to try to get any kind of beam throw. Now I don't necessarily expect this to perform like a rifle light, right? It's a pistol light, similar length and dimensions to something like the TLR1. But even as a pistol light, it falls abysmally short of any kind of good performance that I would want to trust my life to, because everything in a self-defense context, because everything that happens is you're investigating your house or property or whatnot, may not happen at 3 to 5 yards. It may happen further out. You may need that light to go further out, and this one doesn't do that. It's also rechargeable. However, when it's mounted against something, you're not going to get to the charging port because it's back here. It is Type-C though, so that's cool. I'm a fan of Type-C charging, but there is that. So the other part of this is they wanted me to compare this with the Olight PL Pro. I'm not going to do that, and the reason I'm not doing that is something else that needs to be covered while we're on the topic. I no longer use Olight weapons lights, and I feel like I owe an apology to those of you that may have bought those lights based on my recommendation. The reason I quit using them is simple. There were 2 instances where I needed to go check something out outside the house. I needed that weapons light to come on, and it didn't, or it came on in the low setting because the battery was drained despite having not used it and it being recently charged. So the parasitic drain was a deal breaker for me. The other thing was a friend noticed on some footage, some slow motion stuff that we shot with the light on, there was some flickering under recoil on a 5.56. Those of you that know, 5.56 out of a 16-inch barrel doesn't generate that much recoil, but however, if that blast, concussion, whatever is enough to make that light flicker, not something I want to do. So no, this light's not getting a comparison to the Olight. Matter of fact, you have probably seen, well, no, you've definitely seen your last Olight review from me. Until I am granted with some substantiated evidence that they're actually getting better, I'm not going to be doing that. I recognize I don't have a super huge platform, but that platform that I do have still is predicated on the responsibility of not promoting products that I don't use, and as of this point, I don't use those products anymore. So, again, I am sorry. If you bought those products based on a recommendation from me, know that at the time I legitimately had good experiences with them. They seemed to be okay for a concealed carry or civilian defensive standpoint. What I'm using now, on my rifle, excuse the bare muzzle, I've been shooting suppressed stuff and that stuff's on another gun. on my rifle, this is a Streamlight ProTac rail mount HLX, and it does have a laser included. It's kind of cool, but I don't really use it as such. So that's what I've got on the rifle. On the pistol that is inside is currently fitted out with a Streamlight TLR1 HL. So again, I'm sorry if you base your weapons and accessories decisions based on my input. This is the best I can do. I can offer you a genuine apology that you made those decisions and that now I'm walking that back. Your experiences may vary. Mine, however, have led me to lose faith in things like that. Back to the Thrunite TW10. I'm excited that as a company, Thrunite has decided to produce weapons mounted lights. I think that's cool. It's a nice innovation. However, there are several improvements they could make. Number one, either ditch the charging or offer a rechargeable. In this case, they used a 18350 type battery that can come out. Looks to be somewhat proprietary because of the button surrounder on the light itself. Get away from those. Maybe offer a reputable threaded battery. I don't know. Maybe offer a reputable rechargeable battery that consumers can replace on their end. I have no real good way of measuring light output, so I can't really ding them on that, but I will say that you don't see diffusers like this on a quality defensive flashlight for a reason. Yeah, same reason you don't see spinning rims on a high-performance vehicle from the factory. What people do on their own time is their own thing. So their innovation is good, but sometimes there's a reason for the way things are being the way they are. As a handheld light, this would probably be pretty good. I'm going to get you guys some nighttime footage too. But as a handheld light, this is not too shabby, except that it's not really designed for that. So it is what it is, guys. Again, I hate bashing the company, but I can't recommend this for weapons use unless you're going to throw it on an airsoft gun or something like that. It might be okay, but for any kind of real defensive use, I would go Modlight, Streamlight, Surefire, just to name a few. So there is that. Anyway, guys, stay safe, keep shooting, and I'll see you next time.